Welcome to Farm for Life, your source for off-grid living and homesteading, a sustainable lifestyle for a healthier and happier you. We blend the beauty of traditional practices with a modern touch, guiding you towards self-reliance. Join us on this extraordinary journey as we explore time-tested farming methods, sustainable living techniques, and the joy of strengthening our connection with the land. Today, I've got some updates that took me from sheer excitement to a bit of a roller coaster. I'm your guide, and today's topic is quite a curveball in my off-grid journey. Stick around as we explore the unexpected twists and turns in the process of setting up my off-grid timber frame SIPS panel. I was over the moon about the prospect of moving my 18-foot camper trailer to our off-grid property. The plan was to kick off the off-grid journey, complete with solar power, a new residence, and the works. I couldn't wait to share this exciting step with you all. But some significant roadblocks have come up. The government won't allow me to build or tie my solar power system into my off-grid timber frame. So rewind a bit. About a year ago, during the relocation process, I did the responsible thing and reached out to the County Planning Commission. Our off-grid property is in an unincorporated area, and we're dealing with permits, codes, and zoning. Good news, my initial building permit was approved, and I was all set to start on this off-grid adventure. Fast forward to now, and I called the Planning Commission to check if my permit was still valid. Spoiler alert, it was. Here's where it gets tricky. I laid out my plans for an off-grid solar-powered barn dominium made of beautiful timbers and SIP panels to the chief building inspector. Everything seemed fine until we hit a snag in the electrical permit section. I'm planning to be fully off-grid with a solar-powered array and battery inverter system. But surprise, the county insists that even for an off-grid setup, I need the service provider to sign off on it. That's when reality hit me. They won't want anything to do with my solar system. Now, the chief building inspector dropped the bomb. I'd need my solar system professionally designed, built, and stamped by an engineer in rural Tennessee, building my off-grid cabin, and now they want an engineer involved. I had to clarify. If the state won't let me do my solar system, the response is no, it's for county permitting. So last time, I planned to move my 18-foot camper trailer to our off-grid property. The plan was set: solar power, timber frame, SIPS panel, barn dominium, but things have taken a different route since then. In my efforts to obtain the necessary permits, I found myself in a bit of a pickle. I had to educate the building inspector on SIPS construction, structural insulated panels. Now, if you're not familiar, it's like a giant puzzle of OSB, polyurethane foam, and zipboard, all cam-locked together. These panels are pre-constructed in a factory, making the on-site assembly a breeze. I had to explain this to the inspector, and despite her unfamiliarity, she acknowledged it. SIPs are becoming more popular for building because they have some good things about them. One big reason is that they help save energy. SIPs have really good insulation. They are made with a core of strong foam stuck between two layers of strong material. This makes sure that heat doesn't easily go in or out. When a building uses SIPs, it needs less heating or cooling. This not only saves money on energy bills, but also makes the inside of the building comfy all year. Using SIPs is good for the environment too, because it means using less energy and having a smaller impact on nature. SIPs are also strong and last a long time. Even though they are light, they are tough and can be used for different kinds of buildings, even tall ones. They can resist things like water, wind, and bugs, making them last longer and need less fixing. SIPs are also good when there's a big storm, because they can handle it better than regular building ways. Another cool thing about SIPs is that they make building faster and easier. The panels come ready to put together, so workers spend less time on the site. This helps save money on labor costs. SIPs also create less waste compared to other ways of building. Since they are made in a controlled way in a factory, construction can happen all year round, even when the weather is not so good. Besides all this, SIPs let builders be creative. They can be used for walls, roofs, and floors, giving a lot of options for how a building looks. In short, SIPs are becoming popular because they help save energy, are strong, and last a long time, make building faster, and let builders be creative in their designs. With all these good things, SIPs are becoming a smart choice for building projects today. To continue, when I asked if there were any additional requirements for SIPs construction, she assured me that as long as I provided the drawings, we should be good. Now, I'm not an architect, so I've partnered with a company to create professional timber frame drawings. These will later be converted to SIPs drawings. However, the real hurdle hit when we discussed the off-grid solar system. But the county wants the solar setup professionally designed, built, and stamped by an engineer, a curveball, considering my expertise in electrical systems. Now, let me clarify. This isn't a state restriction, but a county requirement. The building inspector insisted that I hire a professional for the solar system, claiming it was necessary for permitting. It's a bit frustrating since, in my opinion, it feels like a power play or a way to ensure contracts go to specific individuals. Now, I'm not letting this roadblock dampen my spirits. I've reached out to DIY solar power groups, and many agree that it might be more about control than actual necessity. I'm determined to find a workaround, but for now, I can't proceed with designing, building, and installing my solar system. Beyond the complexities I previously mentioned, solar power legislation and compliance pose additional challenges. One significant issue revolves around grid interconnection and net metering. The technical hurdles involved in connecting solar systems to the grid can be formidable, requiring compliance with complex technical requirements and navigating lengthy approval processes by utilities. Also, net metering policies, which permit homeowners to sell excess solar energy back to the grid, exhibit considerable variability and susceptibility to change. Fairness and equity concerns further complicate the landscape of solar power legislation. Questions arise about the allocation of costs and fairness between solar users and non-solar users, with arguments suggesting that non-solar users may be subsidizing the grid costs of solar users. Moving on to permitting and zoning, another set of challenges emerges. The permitting processes for solar installations vary significantly by location, causing confusion and delays. Additionally, zoning regulations may impose restrictions on where solar panels can be placed, constraining the potential for widespread adoption. Concerns about the visual impact of solar panels on neighborhoods, especially in historic districts, can further lead to opposition to solar development. Financing and incentives present their own set of hurdles in the realm of solar power. Navigating through various financing options, including loans, leases, and power purchase agreements, proves to be challenging, particularly for low-income individuals and communities. The evolving incentive landscape, with government incentives such as tax credits and rebates changing frequently, introduces uncertainty for potential adopters. Safety and environmental concerns add another layer of complexity. Addressing the proper disposal and recycling of solar panels at the end of their lifespan is crucial, but requires robust regulations and infrastructure. Additionally, while large-scale solar farms are generally considered clean, they can have land use and biodiversity impacts that need careful consideration and mitigation. The domain of data privacy and cybersecurity introduces its challenges. Solar systems generate significant amounts of data, raising concerns about data privacy and cybersecurity vulnerabilities. Compounding the issue is the lack of clear regulations specific to the solar industry, creating uncertainty for both consumers and solar companies. Social and community acceptance is crucial for the successful implementation of solar power initiatives. The lack of public awareness and understanding can create barriers to adoption. Educational outreach and community engagement become essential in addressing this challenge. Moreover, ensuring equitable access to solar power for all communities, including low-income and marginalized groups, remains an ongoing social justice issue. Addressing these challenges of solar power legislation and compliance necessitates ongoing collaborative efforts from policymakers, industry stakeholders, and communities. That's a wrap for our Farm for Life episode today. We invite you to be part of our off-grid living and homesteading community. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our information with your friends and family. Let's build our community together. Thank you, and we will see you next time.